Everyone that was in my headless training course on Tuesday last week. As I promised to you that I would follow up with a few of the um, uh, uh, questions that came up and the little problems, so the outstanding kind of things. So the first one was the 500 error we saw with the page when we were trying to create it. The second one was a question by Nicole regarding FTL pages and React components. So I've had a little chat actually about that, and yeah, I got an answer to that. And the final one was there wasn't a final one, I think. Yeah, the final one was the structure of the content, and I know some people found it a little bit difficult when we went over to the SPA explanation, and I will show you what we're doing with that, and obviously you can access that, so it'll be a lot easier for you. So let's just go to the first one then, the 500 error on the new pages that we created. And over here I've created some new pages. In fact, what I'll do is I'll come along and create a new page for you just to show you off from scratch. There you go, and I'll call it Gome, not Gome, Home, like so. And as you can see, that page is just fine. And the problem was, unfortunately, that I missed out the base URL on these about and contact pages. So that base URL, if you remember correctly, is very important because the base URL points to the actual React application. And I think there was a little bit of confusion around that because probably we were thinking in FTL, thinking about things in FTL, and there it is there, localhost 3000. If I take that, what is localhost 3000? Well, it's the React application itself, right? So you need to have that inside there. Title, type, base URL. The home page had it, oops a daisy, it had title, base URL, and type, which is the three raw things that you need to make a page in headless Magnolia, right? And I think we missed that. So that was the first one that we missed, so we can strike that one out. There you go. And the second one is a question that Nicole had around, can I come along? And what I'll do is I'll create a little diagram, create a page using Magnolia FTL. And then inside that page, we have like little components that are React components. Now the answer, React components, yeah? The answer on the day was yes, you can do that. But the actual answer is a little bit more kind of in-depth than that. So yes, you can do that if you want to create an FTL page that is like a standard index.js page. And inside that index.js page, you have a script tag where the source is some React app.js, right? So you call out some React application, right, that you've developed. And that will come along, and as long as your FTL has a DOM element inside of it, let's say, for example, a div with an ID of something like MGML Magnolia root, yeah, something like that, then that React application, that React code can mount onto this and start rendering out React components onto the FTL page, like a kind of like semi-spa React application, yeah, bar the routing. So you obviously wouldn't have the routing because it's a server-side generated page, it's being FTL. And you would be able to put React components onto it, but you wouldn't be able to edit those React components. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to edit the React components. And the reason for that is if we go back over here, we have type spa, and if it's an FTL page, we have type free marker. You can't mix the two together. Yeah, you can't mix the two together, right? So that's the reason why you can have, yes, React components in an FTL index page from Magnolia, but you can't have editable components with the green bars like we worked on. Where are the green bars? Let's look at some green bars over here. like these green bars over. Come on. Like these, oops daisy, I've deleted a whole load of stuff. Oh, I've deleted this here. So like the green bars that we saw in our React application, right? So that kind of answers that question over there. So that bit I can I can strike out that bit over there if you're making it editable. Okay, so the next one is the structure of the SPA curriculum. Now I am updating that now to make it much more kind of how do I call it, constructive, so it moves into steps. And of course you have access to these pages. So if you see what I've changed now, I've put inside here the overall architecture of Magnolia headless. So you get a diagram of how everything interlinks. Then I go through with a task of actually showing you the light modules, being the templates and then the dialogues, and the folder structure of that. Then we go in and actually create a React component, a simple one. Yep. Then I give you an explanation of the index.js. And then I'll basically go on to make that page editable with the editable component and so on. So I am putting structure inside there. You are able to access this. If you have any questions or need me to go through it with you again, of course, I'm here for you. So just reach out.